Today I want to talk about the legal research and why it's important to you. So there are many different variables of research that you could use. When I first started out, I used Google Scholar, and I liked Google Scholar. But the one thing about Google Scholar that I didn't like was the fact that it just gave you an abundance of cases that some of them didn't even apply to you. And you would have to, that don't work. And then you'd have to keep looking for cases, and you'd have to keep trying to refine your search. So there were two other companies that I was interested in. One was called Westlaw, and the other one was called LexisNexis. Now, I'll be honest that neither one of these companies are sponsoring me. But I must tell you, the company that, kind of overwhelmed me with the kindness, once they accepted me, was LexisNexis. And so the one thing that LexisNexis does is it's an excellent resource. Excellent resource of knowledge, information. It shows you how to fill out motions. It lets you go and do research on judges or research on how attorneys file their motions. It lets you see how they file a motion for summary judgment. It lets you see how they file a writ of execution. It lets you see those things. You can type in a case and it'll give you the case like that. Now, granted, if you don't know how to use LexisNexis, they got an 800 number. And you know what the 800 number does? It puts you in touch with someone who is either an attorney or a law student who knows the law. Now, I want you to understand, don't call them asking for legal advice, because it's not their job. Their job is to help you find content that you're looking for. And so you're going to give them the variables or the variables of what you're searching for, and then they're going to put it in, and they're going to do a query and find cases. Now, after they found the cases, they're going to say, well, look, I think we found some cases for you. Let us get your email, and we're going to send you the email. And then you tell us if this is what you want. And so they'll send you the email, and you'll have a chance to review them. And then, so most cases, or most times, it's good to just look at the cases and say, hey, if I have any other questions, I'll get back to you. But it's kind of holding your hand. Once you get started doing it, it kind of works its way through. Now, the next thing about LexisNexis that I do like, but I don't use that yet, is they have an AI program that helps with the legal. And the one thing I can say about the legal aspect of AI is you really have to check behind them and verify information, because there are gonna be some AIs that you say, hey, do you have the cases about, and it'll give you a bunch of cases, but then when you go and look up the cases are for something else. So if you're going to use AI as a tool to help you win your cases, you need to verify information that you receive. If you don't know about cases for certain, look it up in LexisNexis. And then the one thing about Lexis that I can say is I think it's an excellent tool. I've been paying for LexisNexis for almost 3 years now. And let me say, it's probably the best investment that I've ever made. And the reason I call it the best investment that I ever made was because it put me on the same level as attorneys and judges. You see, they use these tools as well. So if I can look up cases like they can look up cases, that means that puts me in a different category altogether. And so that's where I'm at. So I appreciate LexisNexis. And if there was a company that I would recommend LexisNexis. Not because they promised me anything, but because I've used them for almost 3 years. And everything about the company represents everything that I need to have when I need someone standing behind me that's going to give me information. So that's why I like and I use LexisNexis. Ken out.